Pop music is often dismissed as formulaic and superficial, but every so often albums come along that defy these stereotypes and become legendary. In this video, we'll look at 10 of the most perfect pop albums. Thriller by Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson's Thriller is often hailed as the greatest pop album of all time. Released in 1982, it redefined the boundaries of pop music. With its blend of funk, rock, and R&B, the production of Thriller was meticulously crafted and spearheaded by Quincy Jones. Following the success of Off the Wall, MJ was determined to create an album that would elevate his career to new heights, and Thriller was just that. It was an unprecedented commercial success, debuting on number 1 on the Billboard 200 and remaining on top of the charts for an astonishing 37 weeks. The album produced 7 top 10 singles on the Billboard Hot 100, including 2 number 1 hits, Billie Jean and Beat It. It has become the best-selling album of all time, with estimated sales of over 66 million copies worldwide. Thriller also won a record-breaking 8 Grammy Awards in 1984, including Album of the Year. Its success defined Michael Jackson's status as the king of pop. Teenage Dream by Katy Perry. Katy Perry's Teenage Dream is the quintessential pop album that dominated the charts upon its release in 2010. The album produced a record-tying 5 number 1 singles on the Billboard Hot 100, including California Girls, Teenage Dream, Firework, and Last Friday Night. The album's singles became anthems of a generation, with their uplifting themes of self-empowerment and carefree fun resonating deeply with listeners. The music videos for these singles, particularly California Girls, Firework, and Last Friday Night, became cultural touchstones. Katy's vibrant and playful aesthetic, combined with her catchy hooks and relatable lyrics, made Teenage Dream an instant pop classic. Future Nostalgia by Dua Lipa. Dua Lipa's Future Nostalgia brought a fresh and modern twist to the pop genre with its retro-inspired sound. Released in 2020, the album combines elements of disco, funk, and electronic music, creating a nostalgic yet forward-thinking vibe, just like the title suggests. Dua aimed to create an album that was cohesive and conceptual, inspired by the sounds of the late 1970s and early 1980s. She drew from artists like Madonna and Prince, blending their influences with modern pop and electronic music. It is an 11-track masterpiece, with no filler, just bangers. Tracks like Don't Start Now, Physical, and Levitating showcase her powerful vocals and knack for crafting infectious dance pop anthems. The album was one of the reasons for the revival of the 80s sound in the 2020s. Future Nostalgia received critical acclaim and solidified Dua Lipa's position as a leading figure in modern pop music. The Fame Monster by Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga's The Fame Monster is often cited as one of the most perfect pop albums of all time. Released on November 18, 2009, as a reissue to her debut album, The Fame Monster includes 8 new singles that explore the darker side of fame. The album was a commercial success, debuting on number 5 on the Billboard 200 and eventually selling over 1.5 million copies in the US. It received numerous accolades, including 6 Grammy nominations and 2 wins. The Fame Monster is a masterpiece of pop music, blending infectious melodies with deep introspective themes. Its impact on both the music industry and pop culture is undeniable. It cemented Gaga's status as a pop icon and pushed the boundaries of what pop music could be. Thank You Next by Ariana Grande. Ariana's Thank You Next is a deeply personal album that resonated with listeners on multiple levels. It is a milestone in modern pop music, exemplifying her growth as an artist and her ability to connect deeply with listeners. Released on February 8, 2019, it is her 5th studio album, and it stands out for its raw emotion and relatable themes. Upon its release, the album debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, selling 360,000 album-equivalent units in its first week. Its success was propelled by the title track Thank You Next, which became a cultural phenomenon. The single debuted at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and held the top spot for 7 weeks. Other hits like 7 Rings and Break Up With Your Girlfriend I'm Bored also achieved significant chart success, with 7 Rings topping the Hot 100 for 8 weeks. The album explores themes of self-love, resilience, and personal growth, showcasing Ari's vocal prowess and emotional depth. It received widespread acclaim for its honesty and relatability, further establishing Ariana Grande as one of the most influential pop stars of her generation. Whitney Houston by Whitney Houston. The mid-1980s was a vibrant era for pop music. The genre was evolving, incorporating influences of rock, R&B, and dance music, and artists were experimenting with new sounds and production techniques. In this dynamic landscape, Whitney Houston emerged as a fresh, captivating talent with a voice that could transcend genres. Her self-titled debut album introduced the world to one of the greatest voices in pop music history. The album features iconic tracks like Saving All My Love for You, How Will I Know, and The Greatest Love of All. Her powerful vocals and emotional delivery captivated listeners, earning her critical acclaim and commercial success. It set the stage for her illustrious career and remains a testament to her unparalleled talent. It topped the Billboard 200 albums chart and was certified 14 times platinum by the RIAA, establishing her as a major force in the music industry. The album's success paved the way for Whitney's illustrious career, filled with numerous hits and accolades. 1989 by Taylor Swift. Taylor's 1989 marked her full transition from country to pop music, and it was a resounding success. It is a huge moment in Taylor's career. Collaborating with renowned producers like Max Martin, Shellback, and Jack Antonoff, she crafted a synth-pop masterpiece that reflected the musical landscape of the 1980s while remaining fresh and contemporary. It was also a commercial juggernaut, debuting on #1 on the Billboard 200 and selling over 1 million copies in its first week. It spawned several hit singles, including Shake It Off, Blank Space, and Bad Blood, which dominated the charts and radio airwaves. The album's 80s-inspired sound and a track list of banger after banger resonated with a huge audience. Critically, the album was hailed as a pop masterpiece and is now referred to by her fans as the Pop Bible. It received numerous accolades, including the Grammy Award for Album of the Year, making Taylor the first woman to win the award twice at the time. Back to Black by Amy Winehouse. Amy Winehouse's Back to Black is a soulful masterpiece that blends pop with jazz, R&B, and Motown influences. Released in 2006, the album features hits like Rehab, Back to Black, and You Know I'm Good. It was predominantly produced by Mark Ronson and Salaam Remi. The album is heavily influenced by the girl groups of the 1960s Motown and classic soul, yet retains a modern edge through its content. Amy's distinctive voice, raw lyrics, and vintage-inspired sound set her apart from her contemporaries. The album was a commercial success, topping the charts worldwide and earning multiple platinum certifications. It resulted in 5 Grammy Awards, including Best New Artist, Record of the Year, and Song of the Year for Rehab. Amy Winehouse was one of the most unique and talented artists of her generation. It was a shame that her career was cut short. The album had a lasting impact on pop music, inspiring a wave of artists to embrace a more honest and soulful approach to their music. Lemonade by Beyoncé. Lemonade was released on April 23, 2016, as Beyoncé's 5th album. It was categorized as a visual album, meaning that each song was accompanied by a corresponding visual. It was released alongside a film, which premiered on HBO. This innovative format allows Beyoncé to weave a complex and cohesive story throughout. At its core, Lemonade is about betrayal, resilience, and redemption. It draws heavily on Beyoncé's personal life, particularly the infidelity of her husband Jay-Z. However, the album transcends personal narratives to address broader themes, such as heritage and empowerment. One of the standout features of Lemonade is its eclectic mix of musical styles. Beyoncé transitions from genre to genre with ease, blending R&B, pop, rock, blues, soul, hip-hop, and even country. The album debuted on #1 on the Billboard 200 with 653,000 album equivalent units in its first week. It also went on to win 2 Grammy Awards. Lemonade is now considered as one of the best albums of all time and a defining album of the mid-2010s. Anti by Rihanna. Rihanna's Anti, released on January 28, 2016, stands as a monumental achievement in the landscape of contemporary pop music. This 8th studio album marked a departure from her earlier work, showcasing a more mature, experimental, and introspective side of Rihanna. On Anti, she took her music in a new direction, focusing more on artistic expression and less on commercial success. The album debuted on #27 on the Billboard 200 due to its unconventional release strategy, but it quickly climbed to the top spot in its second week and was certified platinum by the RIAA just 2 days after its release. Anti spawned several hit singles, including Work, Needed Me, and Love on the Brain, all of which achieved significant chart success. It not only redefined Rihanna's career, but also challenged the conventions of pop music, making it one of the most perfect pop albums of all time. Which perfect pop albums did I miss? Tell me in the comments below.